I go to the peephole, right? And I look through the peephole, and all I see is the barrel of the gun. And my first thought is, this is one of these dudes that I've f***ed up.
So, here we go.
I'm Emma.
Yeah, I'm Billy.
We're from Cincinnati.
And we do about every drug but ice. But our main addiction is fentanyl and crack.
And I'm also an escort.
We've been together for like 27 years now, and basically this is our life.
So tell me about the beginning. 27 years is a long time. How old are you guys?
I'm 40.
I'm 42.
We met in school. I had a crush on him, and he was a jerk.
I didn't do like really hardcore drugs. I was an all-star athlete in high school, and
I was a nerd.
And I thought I was just conceited. I didn't have to do any eating of the vagina until I was in my 30s. That's how conceited I was. But honestly, I fell in love with her, like, and I just didn't show it. And I was the first one to tell her that I loved her. She took her a long time to tell me.
Yeah.
So when did you guys start experimenting with drugs? Was it together?
No. I'd have to say I started around 13. My mom and my father are both addicts. Even my mother's father was a heroin addict. I remember when he died, we had to go to the rest home, and my mom was finding them old school needles that you pump with a little thing, and it's just weird. But anyways, it's running my family, and I just remember finding some weed, and my friends. I was always home alone because my mom was a single mother, and so I had all the kids in the neighborhood come to my house, and we would just do whatever we wanted. I had free run.
I got high. I started getting high because my mom and dad were both addicts, and my mom cleaned herself up and became the epitome of a single woman and raised me all the right way. It was nothing that had to do with my family. I was molested by other family members, raped by an uncle. Well, I called him an uncle. He wasn't my uncle. I called him uncle. And I was beat.
How old were you when that happened?
9. And then when I was 17, I got beat so bad that I was unrecognizable. And all of those traumas together, I pretty much decided that if I got high, then I wouldn't remember them and I wouldn't feel it. So I continued to get high, and when I found better drugs that made me forget easier and faster, I just kept progressing.
So how did you guys get to a point where you figured out that you could sell your body?
So I realized...
You guys figured it out together?
Nope, I did that on my own. I guess one night my car had broke down in Cincinnati, and I was crying because I couldn't get it started again, and I took a seat at a gas station on a curb. Nobody would help me. Nobody would let me use their phone to make a phone call. Nobody even offered me help. I begged for help. And then a guy drove up and told me I looked a lot like a girl that he was going to take to an appointment, asked me if I wanted to go. I would get money at the end of the day. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, run it. So I hopped in the car with a complete stranger, and he drove me to an apartment complex. I was a wreck. My eyes were puffy and red, my hair was a mess, but the guy inside didn't care. So I went upstairs, I got the money first, counted it, called him. Dude was like, okay, carry on with what you're doing. I went in and I took care of business with the guy and walked right out. And then he put $150 in my hand out of the $300 for like 7 minutes of work. I was sold right then and there.
And so you had no clue what you were doing, though?
I had no clue what I was doing. None at all.
When you say you went into this place and you took care of business, what happened in that apartment?
So basically I went in, and these guys do this as a sport. They get on these websites and they find us girls, and they'll hang out with one of those girls for a while, and then a lot of the time they'll ask you for a referral to another girl. So these guys do this as a sport. So this guy has been doing this probably for a while now. So when I went in, he was all lovey-dovey, cuddling to me like, what's wrong? Well, let's take you in the bedroom, make you feel better, blah, blah, blah. So I just went with it. I knew what it was, you know what I mean? It's like I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. It was just my first time. I had never done anything like that before. So, and then, like I said, we had sex. He got off instantly almost. That's when I realized I had gold. Then I left with my money. And I let that guy make my appointments on the internet as an internet escort for a long time, probably like a year. And then I just had a bunch of other girls tell me, like, why are you letting him do that? You could pocket that whole 300 instead of that 150. Well, wouldn't you like to make 300 for 15, 20 minutes instead of 150? Yep. Yes, I would. Put my thinking cap on, and I did it all myself.
And from that point forward, you've been independent on your
Yes.
own without.
Yep,
Would you call that person a pimp that you were with?
Yeah, he was basically a pimp. I didn't think so at first, but I learned in the long run that he was. And so I went independent, and I even got to the point where I was turning other girls onto this, like showing them how to do it. Or I took advantage of a lot of the girls. I would find a girl that was selling it for 40 or 60. I'd be like, come here, let me help you. And I'd turn around and get 200 for her and then hand her 100. Isn't that better? I'm really shitty for that, but I did that too.
So were you guys together when this happened?
Yeah, when that happened, yeah.
That very first time? And
No, that very first time, no, we weren't together.
so at what point did you, Billy, find out that she was doing this? Were you guys separated and you said, oh, I want to get back with you now, but...
It was probably like I was in my early 30s, and we started dating again, and we were both using heroin at that time because fentanyl wasn't out yet, and we didn't know that we were using heroin outside of each other. She thought all I did was smoke weed, and I thought all she did was drink beer here and there and smoke weed a little bit, and we found out, you know,
That we could share it together.
Yeah, and
we could share it with each other.
So at this time, she was dating some other guy, and he was abusive to her. And I'm not trying to act like or say I'm like really mean or stuff, but I was raised to fight when I was 12.
He can fight. Let's just say he can fight.
Yeah.
He's got hands.
So I went down there and I just took that stuff from that guy, and I have not left her on that side since. Just to be honest with her, I would die for her. She's my best friend, and I can't see even, like, I don't know if this is just because I have a warped mind or something, but the things we've been through, her being there for me when my brother died, and even my grandma, and all the stuff that's going on with my mom and myself inside my heart, and she's always been there for me. So I don't even see myself. I don't want to be in this world without her. And I know that most guys would be like, oh God, you can't, you know, how can you deal with the issue of her doing this?
And it's because I spoil him for real.
I don't want.
I pay all the bills. I buy all the clothes. I spoil him. But it bites me in the ass a lot too. So.
And it's gotten to a point where it's like, I need to start helping, you know, because she's still feeling like I'm using her, and I don't want her to feel that way because I do have genuine love for her inside of me. I want to marry her someday, and this isn't going to be our life forever. We hope. Hopefully, I can
laugh
get a job.
about a lot of it though together. He's somebody that I can tell things to, like interpersonal things that have happened. Like, I try not to bring work home to him and talk to him about it, but at the end of the day, I need somebody to talk to. So he gets to hear all the crazy shit that happens.
You guys love each other?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
with all my heart. I mean, how can you not love somebody when you've been with them this long? It's on and off for 27 years. It's been the last 11 years straight. It's just been me and her.
So someone calls right now and they want to see you in this room.
In this room.
And so what would you do?
Me, I'd help her get the room cleaned, put away all the paraphernalia, get my phone, make sure I have my phone on me at all times, and literally I'd walk out of the room about 5 minutes before it happened, and I'm not very far, and if something pops off that not like they don't want to pay, or they're trying to hurt her, or they're trying to rape her, or they do some crazy fuck shit, I'm going to hurt them, and I'm going to hurt.
Has that happened before?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you've had to jump in?
Oh yeah, I've had. Yeah.
Can you tell us about a situation?
I'll explain one to you. The reason that I'm so into it, because this is what happened. We're at a hotel, and I'm mad. I'm real mad for some reason over something stupid.
We were fighting probably over a sock.
So I went outside as her lick, because you know nothing had happened in a long time, and nothing. And I fucking went outside and I did like almost a gram shot of dope, and I fell out. And when I fell out, this dude came in and raped her. And it's really hard to forgive myself for that. Because whatever we were arguing for, or whatever that situation might have been that me and her had been mad.
I did have other people there, though. That I did have somebody that was standing close by who did hear the commotion and tried to step in, but dude was so fast. After he raped me, he grabbed my box with all my money in it and took off, and there was no catching him.
And so I'm never gonna let that happen again. So that now I'm not very far, and all it takes is she usually has me on her phone, and if something pops off,
I can usually hear myself through his phone right through the window.
So it's safe to say you guys do everything together.
Absolutely,
Pretty much.
yeah.
You're in this together like a real Bonnie and Clyde.
Yep.
Yeah,
Have you
absolutely.
guys ever been arrested together?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell
For
us
sure.
about a time like that?
Do you want to tell her, Dylan, or do you want me to?
So we went to cop some drugs. What are you talking about the time we got?
No, I'm talking about the hotel.
God. So I have 5 marshals coming for me. So this was so surprised. We didn't know what was happening, but I'm up at a hotel and I have a couple of friends there with me and they were spending the night. And it was like 4 a.m. I had a client coming at 5, a very regular client. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up right now and go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get high. And after I get high, I need you to get the friends up and take off, make sure everything's okay, whatever. So I'm in the bathroom getting high, and then all of a sudden we hear bang, 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 bang on the door. So I'm like, go see who that is. I'm fucking trying to get high. Go see who it is.
No, let me take over. So I go to the peephole, right? And I look through the peephole, and all I see is the barrel of the gun. And my first thought is, this is one of these dudes that I've fucked up. And they're here to fucking kill us all.
No, he goes, oh my God, they have a gun, and throws himself against the wall.
I tell everybody, I was like, go to the bathroom. I said, we was on the 3rd tier of the floor. My plan was I was just going to go over to the side of the fucking thing with him.
But before we knew it, they were like, marshals, my whole name, we have a warrant for your arrest. And I'm in the bathroom still getting high. Don't let him in. I swear to God, you better not fucking let them in. Let me get the drugs in me first. It was too late. They done pushed the door open.
They had the key.
They came in and got us, and I was so pissed, man. I'm the only one that got arrested that day. And I ended up having to do like 5 or 6 months?
Something like that. But I got charges that I'm still facing for.
So the people that were with me were very, 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 very close to me. So they caught the dollar bill with crushed drugs in it, and they caught some needles in the room. And they were like, so who's taking these drug charges? And I just looked up at him, and he was like, it's mine. Everything you find in that room is mine.
And they was like, we know that's not true. And I was like, dude, I just said it. It's on the cam on your vest. I'm not saying another damn word. So, yeah, I took it. And I don't care. I've got 2 numbers. It ain't nothing. I've never been raped or nothing like that in prison. You know, I've been.
And jail wasn't nothing for me. I just went to jail, did my time, came back out, and jumped right back in.
Yeah, especially now that they're feeding you Suboxone in jail.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just another stay. But I can't lie. Now that we're in our 40s and we're getting older, like I said, we're trying to get out of this. I'm tired of hurting people. I don't want to hurt her no more. And she deserves better out of me than what I've been giving.
When I think about it, my looks are pretty good, and I got a pretty good attitude, but I only got, like 5 or 10 more years of this in me, maybe?
We're blessed to be looking like we do for all the drugs and things we've done. I mean, nobody puts us past 30. And
I'm just never going to let us hit the streets. I'm not going to let us be homeless. I'm not going to let us not want to. I feel like if you make enough money to do what you want to do, you should be able to do it. So.
And I've been full-on homeless in the bando with my brother, running an electric cord from the bando spot that we're in to the Chinese restaurant so that we can run a fan.
I'll walk the fucking street before I have to sleep on the streets. I'll walk and prostitute before I have to sleep on the streets. And it's not just that. I fuel my life like this. I take care of my family if they need it, our food, everything.
So, talking about that, how much money would you say you make in a day?
Anywhere between $600 to $1,000 a day. I'll stop at about 1,000 because I feel like I've been through enough that day.
I'm going to do some math really quick. Do you work every day?
Every day. I never get a day off.
So on a low end of $600 a day, that's $219,000.
Oh yeah, when I lived at the Super 8, over there they were charging me $95 a day, and what made me leave them was because I did the math, and $95 a day times 8 months It came out to like $86,000 and I flipped. I was like, $86,000, I could have bought a house by now.
Do you have any savings?
No.
Nope.
You spend everything.
Everything.
Everything. Well, besides our drug habit,
dude.
I have a shopping
blows
habit.
my mind.
Like, if I'm not shopping on the internet or out shopping right now, I've got a booster out for me.
I've been trying to talk us in, and I'm not. It's not just her, but I've been trying to get us to go with just $100 a day. Just $100 a day to
But
put
see,
back.
the thing is, though, he doesn't work. So this is the thing. I make all the money. So if we want to get high like we get high, if we want to eat like we eat, if I want to go shopping like we go shopping, he's going to have to get a job because by the time I pay the bills, we're not going to have any money to get high on. Period. So I can't do it myself. I need somebody to be able to make a little bit of money so that way I can take some of the money, extra money, and put it up so we can move up. I can't do it by myself. Our addiction is so high.
Or you guys stop like you're talking about.
Right.
So let me ask you this. Have you guys ever been clean together?
No.
No.
You've only experienced addiction together.
We've only
Yep.
experienced addiction together.
Tell me some of the more strange things that you've encountered with your clients.
So I have done everything from normal shit to crazy shit. Like the Papal Pepperidge Farm old guy I met who wanted me to fist him in the butt. Put the rubber glove on up to my elbow. After my girlfriend said she couldn't do it, she came and got me and I did it. And like I said, Papal Pepperidge Farm loved me and he became a regular after that. And I've had a guy that likes to blow up balloons. Well, not him. He likes me to blow up balloons. And the thing is with him, his fetishes, he likes to see my nervousness, my anxiety when I blow up the balloon and I get to the point where it's gonna pop. And I'm like, oh God, I can't do it. And he was getting off on that, like keep blowing. I would blow it up. And we couldn't do it at a hotel because of the loud noises. We were worried about the hotel staff hearing it and causing some kind of trouble with that. But I've had guys that, I have this guy that, like, I've never done this one, but he keeps calling me and asking me. He wants to buy me a 2-liter of my favorite pop, come here and force me to drink it super, super fast. Stick my finger down my throat and throw up on my feet, and then me jack him off my feet. So I've had some real fucking winners.
Billy, I see you shaking your head back there.
It's
Is that
like-
because it makes you mad? Or
No, it's just I'm not shy with the sex thing. I've been with, like, I was a jock. I was an all-star athlete. I've had a lot of girls. It just blows my mind that, like, the money they pay for this shit and it's just how weirder and weirder and weirder it seems to get. I watched this thing online
weird,
called Crime Thing Weekly or whatever, and I promise you guys, this shit is getting worse.
Oh yeah, we do. We're addicted to that crime
Single
zone
day.
shit.
This world is getting darker. I mean, I could just go on. I'm kind of a weird conspiracy kind of guy. I feel like the Hedgehog Colliders opened up a portal to some crazy stuff. That all
Yeah,
these aliens are coming out of nowhere. I'm like, but when it comes down to the end of the day, it's not. There's the only time I get mad is when I see her like kind of like playing the dude with emotion and like some of these dudes.
Yeah, some of these guys really can't decipher between a sexual encounter and falling in love with me. I've had stalkers. I've been kidnapped. And it gets to the point where, like, I know now, since I've been through all that shit, when it gets to a certain point when I can tell, like, they're getting a little too attached to me, how I have to cut it off. I've had to completely block people because they start falling in love with me and it turns violent.
But they don't know that I exist.
Yeah, no.
Nobody knows that you're in.
No, they have no idea. They think she's here by herself or her and her girlfriend.
But I'm a really good provider is the thing. Like, I don't, I know these guys have an addiction to this just as well as we have an addiction to drugs or whatever. These guys are, they might be married or they might just be dorky or whatever and can't find anybody. So, I kind of fulfilled that dream for them. I sell dreams. That's what it is. I'm selling dreams. And then they find that in me and I don't want it to get a bad name because I rely on the fact that all of my little things online that say about their encounters are all good because I am a good provider and I get better business that way.
Can you tell us about the kidnapped thing? You mentioned that and kind of breezed over it as if it was...
So when I was a dancer, I was working at a club in Franklin, Springboro, and I was like the new girl for the first couple of years. I made killer fucking money, but after the first couple of years was gone, I would go in at night and make like maybe $200 to $300 a night. That's not enough money. So I started having sex with some of my clients, And that's kind of like another transition that I did. And the guy was a really, really rich guy. He owned a ton of property in Middletown. He had a wife and kids, a beautiful home, but he had the addiction to, the stripper girls. So he bought me a car. He bought me a cell phone. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like, hell yeah. Well, then I found out my car was low-jacked. Then I found out that my cell phone was tapped. So one day he pulled over into a rest stop, parked the car, locked the door, started crying. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Whoa, what's going on? What's up? And he was like, I know you're addicted to heroin. I'm like, dude, let's just take me home. This is intense. Let's just take me home. So instead of taking me home, he takes me to one of these buildings that he owns and reversed all the doors in the house, locked all the windows with a nail, and put me in there like he was going to detox me against my will, no matter what. He would slide me food here and there. And then I found some pieces to a phone because I do have a college education. I just can't use it because I'm a 6-time felon. But I found a few phones laying around, not whole phones, parts of phones, that I was able to finagle together and make one phone out of. I was able to get one call out that little piece of shit phone. And I called an ex of mine who jumped on it. He was married with children. But I told him, I was like, hey, look, if anytime I needed you right now. This is where I think I am. Could you please come find me? Next thing you know, I hear a ladder clipping up against the house. I see his blonde hair pop up out that window, and I'm like, thank God. I was so fucking dope sick that he got me and most of my stuff out the window and into a truck, and we drove off. And he had a wife, and she was holding the dope, and she did not want to give it to me. And he was like, man, this girl has got you high. Fucking every day of the month, every day of the year, give her your fucking dope and let her get well, man. She just got out of this kidnap situation, and she handed it over, and she got me well. And of course, I never see that guy again.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
I guess it's easy for me to brush right over things because I've been doing this for so long. So the emotion that goes along with being kidnapped or whatever, it's just not, I'm just not emotional about it anymore because I've been through it. I've had a chance to get used to it.
You also brushed over something that I thought was really interesting. You said you put your fist in a guy's rear end.
Yep.
Can you talk about that in terms of like what some of your clients like, and what was going through your mind the very first time that happened, and also how much did you pay for that? Okay,
so the whole thing with Papa Pepperidge Farm was that he was offering my neighbor $500 to do it. And I guess she called him down, or she said, yeah, you come on down, we'll do it, or whatever. Well, when he got there and like he pulled out the lube in the glove, she was like, I don't think I could do it. And I didn't know what was going on. So she came over and knocked on my door. She was like, man, somebody told me if I ever came across anything that I couldn't do to ask you. You've been through it, you could do it. I'm like, fuck it, where's he at? And I'll put my fist in his ass. So I went over there, and before we went in, though, I told her, I was like, look, it's $500. You're going to give me $3. You can keep $2. And for finding it and giving it to me or whatever. So that's what we did. We got over there, and literally, dude had like 3 bottles of fucking lube, and had no problem pulling his pants down and bending over the bed. But he did. It was funny because he was like, can you just start with your pinky? You want me to start with my pinky, but you want me my whole fist in your ass? That's how it happened.
Up to your elbow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it probably really didn't go all the way up to my elbow, but it felt pretty damn close. So he was probably like close to 70.
That's insane.
Yeah, close to 70. And a lot of the older guys, it's so crazy. A lot of the older guys love butt play. Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe this. Like, as me dating a prostitute, I'm a pretty sexual conservative person.
I'm an escort.
Yeah, I escort. Well, whatever. I'm not trying to,
Whenever the other day, I guess I'm a hooker. Anyways.
It doesn't matter. I still love you, and I don't care what anybody thinks. They can get their fucking issue if they want it. Anyways, I just don't like all that weird stuff, man. It makes me I'm just weirded out by it, dude.
I just do love his normality.
Have you ever been asked?
Couldn't do it.
Have you ever been asked?
Oh,
to
dude,
be
this lady-
joined in or to do
I've had plenty of people ask if like, not if he specifically, but like, do I know a guy that they could suck his dick while I do something else to them? I've had a couple people do it, and I've also had a lady. He wanted to make money. And I was like, well, you know what? You pay the bills. You go suck a dick. He was like, I ain't sucking no fucking dick. But if you could sell me somehow, you can do it. So I found a website that I could post him on. And I had a lady call me. And well, she didn't call me. She texted me. She thought she was talking to him. She was going to give him $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week. That was like a retainer. That meant he had to be available for her 3 days out of that week for an hour to an hour and a half each time. No matter what, that $1,000 locked him in for those 3 days for her. She was an older lady. She was like 65, 68, something like that. And she was like a church lady. And what she wanted was, 2 days of come over, eat my pussy, or come over and fuck me, one or the other. But that third day, her and her girlfriends went through these guys and kind of like to show off to their other girlfriends. Like, look at the one I got. She was going to buy him a brand new outfit each time they hooked up and a pair of shoes. And I was like, do this. I was like, because I need the money. I need you to help me. Go do this.
When I finally decided to do it, what'd you do?
Okay, when you finally said yes, I was like, fuck that. I'll go beat her old ass. But...
It wasn't just her being jealous. There's a
it's
side.
part of being addicted to this life.
Like,
I knew he'd start liking the money like
and I
do.
can see that too. Like, this old bitch is gonna pay me all this to do what? Run it. I can see I'm already addictive. I have a addictive personality. Why not be addicted to money?
I know I can wake up anytime, any day, any morning, and be like, shit, we don't have any rent money. Post my ad, and within an hour, I can have a few $100s.
It usually don't even take that long.
It usually don't even take that long, no.
So
But I don't want to do this anymore. I really don't.
So we're working our way out of it.
So you're working your way out. You guys obviously want to be together. What is it like for you guys in terms of intimacy? Knowing
Our intimate life sucks. It really does. Because after I service everybody all day, I don't want to have to service anybody else at the end of the day. And it really sucks because I'm sexually numb a lot of the time. But there's like a blue moon every now and then where I'm not. And that really sucks for him because why does he have to be punished like that? But you chose this life with me.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't always like this either.
Yeah, I know it wasn't.
do you think that can change?
Absolutely.
Do you think it's only because you do it all day that it doesn't work? Or do you think...
No, I love him, and our sex life was great.
Not even that, but do you think if you stop tomorrow, do you think that all the things that have happened to you in terms of trauma and just sex in general,
No.
can you find love and intimacy and pleasure in sex again?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to adjust to a normal life, whatever normal really fucking is. But, yeah, I wanted to.
She was my only sexual equal, and even though I'm a conservative person, we was doing it like 3 times a day, and like she said, we had amazing sex. We did, and now it's just like
no sex.
And I don't know. It just kind of it more hurts my feelings because I start to think like, am I this bad of a fuck up? That bad of a person.
That's not what I think, and
I know, it just does. It hurts me.
I'm sorry.
So, but besides that, she tries and she takes care of me, and I love her, and she does love me. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we always have each other. And when everything else falls through, I can always turn and hold her, and she can always turn back to hold me.
He's a great cuddler.
She's the type of person that'll buy your affection. I am a touchy-feely type of person. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah, my love language is money. I'd rather buy somebody something than have to.
I can't stand it because I'm not like that. I'm a very intimate person.
So, you guys got a magic wand, and you can wave it and project yourself a year, 2 years, 5 years, however many years you want from now, even a day. What does a perfect life look like for you guys if you could change everything and
an end goal
and make it exactly how you want it to be? What does that look like?
RV, no one else.
An RV?
Me and you traveling around.
Are you guys still using drugs or are you clean?
We're lowering our habits.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because, as a kid, we're forced and taught by, this war, the war on drugs, like bad drugs, bad. Well, I'll tell you this right now. I might black out on Xanaxes, but when I smoke a joint, my anxiety goes away. And I know a million people, like, these issues are not rooted from me doing drugs. They're rooted from the pain and the like. I was molested as well as at 4 years old. My uncle told me his penis was a lollipop, and it only happened that one time because I knew it consciously enough to go tell my mom. But I am 4 years old, and nobody else is in the family believing me. Like, I'm making it up.
My end result is we have a house somewhere, a teeny tiny one. I don't even care how big it is. I just want a house. And then finally, when my kids end up having kids, I can be the grandma or the nana. I don't want to be grandma. I want to be like a nana or a nanny or whatever. And then I can have Christmas dinner for our family or Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, because I don't.
My drug use will probably stop once I stop doing this because I have to get high in order to get through this. And I have to get high when I'm done so I can forget about it.
I like smoking weed.
I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about our serious drugs.
I think I could quit all that other shit.
But at the end of the day,
I'm still gonna smoke pot.
I just want it to be done and over with, and us to be us and a happy family.
Yeah, me too.
And my dog.
Yeah, that dog saved my life. I'm gonna be real about this. I've been thinking about killing myself. I've been extremely depressed, and this is what this is about. If it can help somebody, I am one of those people that sat around and I think, why am I good enough? What's going on in my head? And I've been thinking a lot about suicide. That's why you bought that dog, to get me out of my depression.
I bought that dog for me too.
Yeah, I know. But I'm going to be real about this because that's who I am.
Okay, that's cool, whatever.
And losing my brother and all that shit. And then
at the end of the day, though, my end result is still with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any other children of my own, so Kirsten's mine.
I hope that you guys find that magic wand.
Hopefully. I fucking hope that motherfucker's buried somewhere.
But that happens, but I want to thank you guys.
Thank you.
I thank you for doing this. It's cool, man. I really hope I can help somebody. And if they're out there and if there's anybody out there and they think, that this suicide thing and because you can't get off drugs is weird, it makes you weird. It doesn't make you weird. My family, I'm not a spiritual person, but I'm a religious person. And I feel like we fight against these things like a spiritual awakening. It's like there's something dark in this world that's trying to kill people. And I hope that the light can get through.
Me too.
It's a really good ending message. Is there anything that you want to say to people if you had a chance? A lot of people are going to watch this. Just a couple words of wisdom.
Well, let's see. Money's great, and this gig is pretty cool for the most part, but at the end of the day, it ruins my soul. It takes a piece of my soul every time I do it. And I'm pretty close to none now, and I just want to hopefully find a way to transition out of this so I can spend what left of my life and my soul with the one I love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was pretty cool.